I bought a 3-bedroom house for less than half its value, and I thought I was the luckiest man alive. They told me it was move-in ready. They didn't tell me something inside was already living there. And every night, it asks the same question. Why won't you let me in? It started with a listing I almost scrolled past. I'd been apartment hunting for weeks. Rent kept climbing. My patience kept shrinking. Then I saw it. A 3-bedroom house in a quiet neighborhood for the price of a used sedan. I assumed it was a typo. It wasn't. The description was painfully ordinary. Motivated seller. Move-in ready. Quiet area. No exclamation marks. No desperate caps lock. Just, flat. I called the number immediately. The realtor sounded tired. Not annoyed. Not eager. Just tired. She didn't try to upsell me. Didn't mention granite countertops or charming natural light. She only said, if you're serious, we can show it tomorrow. When I arrived, the neighborhood was silent. Not peaceful silent. More like everyone had collectively decided to stay inside. The house itself was clean. Fresh paint. New carpet. The air inside smelled faintly of lemon cleaner and something else I couldn't place, like metal left in rain. Why so cheap? I asked. She paused. It's priced to move. That was it. No backstory. No explanation. I walked through each room. The floors didn't creak. The windows opened smoothly. The basement was dry and surprisingly spacious. If there had been some obvious flaw, I might have relaxed. Instead, everything felt staged. Like a set. In the hallway, I noticed something strange. Every doorframe had tiny scratches near the handle. Not deep gouges. Just thin, repeated marks, clustered in the same area on every door. I ran my fingers over them. Previous owner had dogs? I asked casually. No pets listed, she replied. Listed. The word stuck with me. Still, I signed the papers 2 days later. Friends called me lucky. My brother said I'd stumbled into a once-in-a-lifetime deal. My co-workers asked if it was haunted. We laughed about it. I moved in that weekend. The first night was uneventful. I ordered takeout. Unpacked a few boxes. Sat on the living room floor because I hadn't assembled the couch yet. The silence was thick but not unbearable. Houses make noises. I knew that. Wood expands. Pipes settle. At around midnight, I heard a faint click from the hallway. Like a door latch catching. I froze. Then I remembered. I hadn't fully shut the guest room door. Probably air pressure. I didn't check. The second click came a minute later. Closer. I stood up this time. The hallway light was off, but moonlight from the window at the end of the corridor stretched across the floor. All the doors were closed. Every single one. I was certain I'd left at least one open. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to move. I opened the guest room first. Empty. Closet empty. Bathroom empty. By the time I finished checking the house, I felt ridiculous. Alone in a perfectly normal home, spooked by perfectly normal sounds. Still, before going to bed, I locked every door. Even the interior ones. I don't know why I did that. I just know that sometime around 3 in the morning, I woke up to the sound of a door handle slowly turning. Not rattling. Not forced. Turning. And stopping. As if something on the other side was testing whether I'd remembered to lock it. I lay there, staring at my bedroom door. Waiting. And that's when I heard breathing. Soft. Steady. On the other side. The breathing stopped the moment I sat up. Not faded. Stopped. Like whoever, or whatever, was outside my bedroom door realized I was awake. I stayed still. My heart was beating so loudly I was sure it could hear it. Minutes passed. The house returned to silence. Eventually, exhaustion dragged me back under. When I woke up, sunlight filled the room. The bedroom door was still locked. No scratches. No damage. No sign anyone had touched it. I almost convinced myself I'd imagined everything. Almost. That afternoon, I decided to introduce myself to the neighbors. A normal house in a normal neighborhood. That's what this was. I just needed proof. The house to my left had curtains drawn tight. The driveway was empty. The house to my right had a car parked outside, so I knocked. An older man answered. He didn't smile. I just moved in next door, I said, forcing a friendly tone. His eyes flicked past me, toward my house. You bought it? He asked. Yes. He hesitated. Did they tell you? Tell me what? He studied my face for a moment, as if weighing whether I deserved to know. Nothing, he muttered. Just, keep your doors locked. That was it. He closed the door. That night, I checked the doorframes again. The scratches looked different in daylight. Not random. OT from claws. They were vertical. Narrow. Like fingernails. Repeated in the exact same spot on every door. At shoulder height. I measured them against my own hand. Too high. By at least several inches. I told myself it meant nothing. Maybe the previous owner had a tall teenager who slammed doors when angry. Maybe it was old damage painted over poorly. Maybe. The third night was when I understood. I went to bed earlier than usual. Locked everything. Double-checked the windows. I even pushed a chair under the bedroom handle like something out of a bad thriller. Around midnight, the hallway light turned on. I know what you're thinking. Electrical glitch. I thought that too. But I hadn't replaced any bulbs. And I was certain I'd turned it off. The light seeped under my door, a pale strip across the carpet. Then came the footsteps. Slow. Measured. From one end of the hallway to the other. Stopping at each door. A pause. A soft click. Like a handle being tested. One by one. Until it reached mine. The handle moved gently against the chair. Once. Twice. Then it stopped. Silence. I held my breath. And then I heard it, right next to the door. A whisper. Not words at first. Just the sound of someone shaping breath into sound. Then, clear as anything, why won't you let me in? The voice wasn't angry. It sounded confused. Hurt. Like I was the unreasonable one. I didn't respond. I couldn't. Minutes passed. Then the hallway light clicked off. The next morning, I went straight to the realtor's office. She looked startled to see me. You knew, I said. Her shoulders sagged. The previous owner insisted someone was inside the walls, she said quietly. He tore up parts of the house trying to find them. There was no one there. He stopped sleeping. Stopped eating. Eventually she trailed off. Eventually he what? He locked himself in the bedroom. Wouldn't come out. Said it was safer that way. A cold wave washed over me. Safer from what? She didn't answer. I sold the house 3 weeks later. Took a loss just to be rid of it. I didn't tell the new buyers anything. I told myself I wasn't responsible for their imagination. For their nerves. For the way the hallway light sometimes turns on by itself. Because here's the part one haven't told anyone. The scratches weren't there when I first walked through that house. I know that now. I checked the listing photos last night. Clean door frames. Perfect paint. No marks. And when I moved out, there were more of them. On the inside of my bedroom door. At my height. If you ever find a house priced too good to be true, ask more questions than I did. And if you hear breathing on the other side of a locked door, don't assume it wants to hurt you. It might just want you to open it.